In the evening, photos and videos were seen showing that Dubai airport was completely covered in smoke, the entire airport was evacuated, all flights were cancelled, and even drones were being intercepted near the Burj Khalifa. Debris was falling from the Burj Al Arab after missiles were intercepted, and a fire was starting somewhere. It was very shocking to see. And there is no telling when the airport will reopen, what will happen next. But the good news in all this is that the UAE's air defense system is very strong. Official sources are saying that 137 missiles were fired by Iran at the UAE, of which 132 were destroyed. 209 drone strikes were attempted, but 195 were intercepted. So most of the places where this fire broke out were just the debris of the missile or the pieces of the drone that were falling down due to the drone interception. Now why is all this happening here? Let's understand this whole situation in a little detail in this video. Welcome to Moon Facts TV. The US and Israel have launched a full-scale military attack on Iran. The operation has been dubbed Operation Epic Fury, and it is not a one-day strike. US officials are saying it will last for several days.
We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated.
Bombs are falling all over Iran, in Tehran, Isfahan, Qom, Kermanshah. Most shockingly, strikes were also carried out on the compound of Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei, and it has now been confirmed that he has been killed. This has been confirmed by Iranian state TV itself.
حضرت آیت الله العظما سید علی حسینی خامنه‌ای در راه سربلندی حرم جمهوری اسلامی ایران شهد شهیدگوارای شهادت را نوشیدند.
Iran has now declared a 40-day national mourning and a 7-day holiday. Khamenei was in his office when the strike took place, along with his daughter, son-in-law and granddaughter. In addition, several top commanders of the Iranian army were also killed in a Defense Council meeting. Trump said, "The people that make all the decisions, most of them are gone," and the reaction on the streets of Tehran was divided. On one side some people celebrated while on the other side some people were crying. In response, Iran has fired missiles not only at Israel but also at the UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait. Explosions were heard in Dubai. A person died in Abu Dhabi due to missile debris. Smoke is rising towards the U.S. Al Udeid Air Base in Doha. There was a direct hit on the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet Base in Bahrain, of which this very shocking video has also emerged. Iran's Armed Forces IRGC said that they attacked 27 U.S. military bases. The operation was named Operation Truth Promises 4, but the attack was not only on military bases but also on civilian areas, which is directly evidenced in Dubai, Kuwait and Bahrain, where 5-star hotels to international airports were targeted. Imagine, more than 10 million Indians live in these same Gulf countries. Wherever the missiles are falling, you have relatives, you have friends, millions of workers. The Indian embassy has issued an advisory that Indians should exercise utmost caution. There are more than 18,000 Indian students in Israel alone. The entire airspace of most Gulf countries has been closed, all flights have been cancelled. But if these strikes turn into a full-scale war, its impact will be even worse. India imports more than 50% of its crude oil through the Strait of Hormuz. Currently, India imports 2.6 million barrels of oil from the Gulf countries every day. If Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz, India's oil supply could be cut off. Reports are coming in that Iranian forces have already announced the closure of the strait. Experts are calling it India's nightmare scenario. The direct impact will be that petrol and diesel will become expensive, shipping costs will increase, inflation will increase, and there will be even more pressure on the rupee. And look at the timing here. Prime Minister Modi returned from Israel just 2 days ago. On February 25th and 26th, Modi was in Israel, having dinner with Netanyahu, giving a speech in his parliament, the Knesset. And now look at this, an Israeli defense official has told Reuters that this attack was planned weeks ago. For this reason, Congress leaders have raised the question of why Modi's friend Netanyahu attacked India's old friend Iran. Owaisi said that India has always maintained a neutral position in this conflict. but visiting Israel just before the attack gives a very wrong message. But the most heartbreaking thing about this whole situation is that schools were also attacked in Iran. A bomb fell on a girls' primary school in the Iranian city of Minab, killing at least 100 children. This happened during the day when the school was full, and it is surprising to see what the official account of Israel then tweets: Israel has the right to defend itself, while the first attack was carried out here. This current situation began in December 2025, friends, when Iran's economy collapsed, the currency fell by 40%, and the price of food increased by 72%. The largest protests in history began in Iran, and the Iranian government opened fire on its own people. Estimates are that more than 30,000 protesters were killed. Trump said in response, "Help is on the way." The Middle East had the biggest buildup since the 2003 Iraq War, but in early February it seemed that the situation might cool down. And just a day before the strike, Oman's finance minister had said that this peace deal between the United States and Iran is within reach. But the next day, the bombs started raining. According to the Washington Post, this attack was planned months in advance. The Saudi prince and Israel had repeatedly lobbied Trump to do this. Look at Trump's tweet here: he suddenly thinks he is the boss of the world. He writes to the Iranian people that, when we are finished, take over your government. This script reminds us of the year 2003 when the US launched a war on Iraq. That war lasted for 20 years, which was paid for by the American taxpayer, and the losses were borne by the common people. Now here, Iran is twice as big as Iraq, and the excuse is being given that all this is being done to remove the dictator of Iran, to bring peace and democracy to the people of Iran. But the thing to see is whether it benefits the common people or harms them. Looking at many people from above, it seems that it will only benefit them. After all, the dictator of a country who was killed, but the interference of a foreign power in this way can make things worse than bad. The biggest examples of this are Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein. Both were big crooked dictators, but when America invaded and removed these dictators, these countries became unstable. The situation for the common people went from bad to worse, and new panic valleys were created. Now the biggest fear is that Iran may also become unstable in this way. If you want to understand the geopolitics behind this whole situation in detail, subscribe to Moonfacts TV and press the bell icon to be the first to receive new videos. See you in the next video.